Hey guys, and welcome to a very spooky Halloween reading vlog. So in this video, I read 3 Halloween themed horror books, including Halloween Fiend, Trick or Treat, and Dark Harvest. Did I like all of them? You'll have to watch and find out. Hello, welcome to my Halloween reading vlog. In case you notice, you see a little friend in the background named Chucky. I actually received a Chucky doll for the premiere of the new Chucky series that's premiering tonight, October 12th, on Sci-Fi and USA, and it's incredible. It's like a full-size Chucky doll. It came in this incredible box that says "Wanna Play" in blood on it, and it's just fantastic, and I might share some footage of that, but I've posted it on my social media as well. But I'm just so excited, and I think he's just going to be in all my videos now from here on out. So it is the Tuesday after the long weekend, and I did finish a book over the weekend. I didn't do a ton of vlogging of actually talking about reading this book, but this is Halloween Fiend by C.V. Hunt, and it's a novella, so it's a short read. It took me pretty much the whole weekend to read because I went away and I just didn't have time to sit and read. I was doing a bunch of fall activities. We went to the White Mountains, and we were staying in this really beautiful house along the Pemmicoasset River, I believe it's called. It was just gorgeous, and I did some reading out there. But yeah, it was just stunning. It's fall. The leaves were beautiful. We went zip lining, it was just the most amazing experience. So I did end up finishing this yesterday, and this story centers around a small town called Strang that is visited by a mysterious creature every night called Halloween, and they leave out treats for him, which are essentially animals, for him to take every night, feed him, keep him happy, and then every year on Halloween they hold a festival that is essentially a ritual where they have to perform a ritual to appease Halloween. I thought this was so well done. It accomplishes so much in such a short time. You're following one character in particular. His name is Barry, and he's basically been stuck in this town his whole life. His mother died tragically when he was younger, and he's living with his disabled father. You can tell he's depressed, like he's got nothing going for him, and there's just a lot of ambiguity into this town, where Halloween comes from and why everybody stays in this town. So they don't answer everything in this book, which I like. I know some people don't like that sort of thing, but there are some truly unsettling scenes where our main character, he's watching out his window at night to watch the monster take its treats, and the monster basically starts taunting him through his door through his front door, and it's just so creepy. And you can just envision yourself being stuck in your house and like a person is on the other side of the door just taunting you, and there's only like that small thin piece of wood that is separating you from the monster, and all it has to do is just charge in and get you. And that just was so unsettling for me. I was so creeped out at those points, and I thought the author did a really good job at creating those moments filled with dread, and they were just super intense. And there's just this small town vibe that I love. Gave me a lot of folk horror vibes in the sense of it's a small town that has this secret and they perform a ritual, and I just really loved that. I think this is a perfect read for Halloween. It's very quick and it's creepy. It's creepy. And I really want to check out more from this author, C.V. Hunt. There's another book by this author that is called, I think, human ritual sacrifice or something. It's something like that. I can put up a photo of the actual book. Moving on, my next two that I'm eyeing are these two. So Trick or Treat is probably the one I'm going to start with, and this is about it's a point horror novel about a girl who moves into a house where the girl who lived there before was murdered and the killer was never found. And I'm pretty sure it's centered on Halloween, and the cover is just so cool. And it's a quick read, so it gives me Fear Street vibes, so I think it's going to be cheesy and fun. It's from Scholastic, and I really don't know what to expect from this one. And then the other one is All Hallows Dead, which is a slasher set on Halloween, and it's about a group of local boys who did something bad that we don't know about, and then a mass killer is leaving a trail of bloody pumpkins all over town. So I should be able to get through these two over the next week or so. So I will bring you along with me, and yeah, maybe you'll see Chucky again, but stay tuned. Hello, it is Wednesday, October 13th, and I am checking in. And as you can see, I did shower, I do wash my hair, but did I put on a bra? No, I did not. That is asking too much. So just mind your business. Don't look. So anyway, I didn't get to read a whole ton of this yesterday, but I started it yesterday. I read about 38 pages, and I'm really liking it so far. It feels much more grown up than Fear Street, which I love the Fear Street series, but it can feel a little juvenile at times, and I find that R.L. Stine relies on fake pranks a lot throughout the series, but this story feels a lot more grown up, even though it's dealing with teenage characters. So the story Trick or Treat centers around a 16-year-old girl who is basically having a hard time. Her dad has remarried this woman who has a son that she doesn't really like or she finds strange, and they're basically being forced to blend their families, and they moved into this new house that she feels very uneasy in. Not only is she just insecure and she's just going through the teenage angst, I think she also might have some vibes that there's something bad happened at this house. So it just feels very atmospheric and creepy in this house, and she received a prank phone call, which she calls crank phone calls, which I've never heard it called that way. It's a prank phone call, okay? And so this person says trick or treat, and then she saw a creepy scarecrow hanging out her window. It just has those Halloween spooky vibes. But I think that this house that they're living in, it's haunted. I think something happened. I feel like this is gonna be a ghost story. I am just vibing with this character because she's just like going through a really hard time, and her new stepbrother is basically just calling her a spoiled brat because that's what people tend to do. I felt like I grew up with people telling me that all the time. If I ever made like any comments or if I ever got upset about anything, it's just, oh, you're a spoiled brat. And it's like, no dude, there's a lot of shit going on in my mind right now. There's a lot of inner turmoil as I'm a 16-year-old girl. Like, yes, partly I'm spoiled and being a brat, but also my feelings are valid. Thank you very much. So I'm relating with her a lot because it's tough to have to uproot your whole life and move into this house with these people you don't know. And her stepbrother, he's kind of weird, but also kind of endearing. Like, I kind of like him. He picks on her a little bit, but it's very playful. Like, I think he really does care for her and he's trying to help her, or he's the one doing the crank phone calls. So hello, so I'm just checking in for the night. I read about 50 pages today, which is an amazing feat for me because I was exhausted today. I feel like whenever I sit down to read, my eyes just get incredibly tired and it's just super hard for me to read. But anyway, I feel like I am getting more of the story. So essentially, this girl has moved into this house and she met this group of kids in town and she learned about the dark history of this house, the mystery surrounding this house. And there was a girl there named Elizabeth who was basically murdered, and there was an abusive relationship element to this, and there's a lot of mystery surrounding what happened in her relationship and who actually killed this girl. They think they know who did it, but they never found his body. But there's also been some revelations that he might not have did it or done it. So I feel like it's a really interesting mystery unraveling, and we're learning about the mystery along with the main character. She's finding out stuff about these new people she's met, and she also discovered that she might look like this girl. She might look like Elizabeth. So I just think it's really interesting. I just love that it's this small town vibe and everybody knows everybody's secrets, and there's this one mystery that has shrouded the whole town. And there's also talks of those small town themes of being stuck in this small town, trying to get out of it and live out your dreams. And I like that we're really getting to get to know our characters, and they feel like real people who have real conversations. And I'm really liking this main character. I like that she's sensitive and she seems to be very caring, but she also doesn't know who to trust. And I feel like there's this sense of paranoia in the air where anybody can be a suspect.
Everybody's a suspect!
So yeah, I'm really liking it, and I'm vibing. I'm vibing with the characters. Hey guys, it's Saturday and I'm just checking in on my vlog. That sounded so weird. So I finished Trick or Treat last night and I really enjoyed this one. I think it was a really fun, quick, suspenseful read, and it had a really unsettling and disturbing ending. That's the thing I love about these 90s horror books, is they always shock me by how far they go with certain things. And because you think with teenagers or kids that the story is going to play it safe, but there's some dark stuff in these books. So I was surprised to realize, like, midway through, that the author, who is Richie Tankersley Cusick, is actually a woman, which totally makes sense because the female characters in this, they feel like real female characters. They speak like real teenage girls. Like, there's conversations that occur between female characters in this that I felt like I was listening to actual teenage girls talk. So that's what prompted me to look into who the author is, because I mean, men just can't write women that well sometimes. That's like my biggest issue with the Fear Street series, is that R.L. Stine, I love him. I love that series and what it did, but a lot of the characters feel like cardboard cutouts, especially the females, and they just don't feel real. In this book, I think that the author did a great job at making those characters feel real and speak naturally, and I just cared for them a lot. I really connected with Martha, our main character, and she has a lot of insecurities. People always brush her off as being too sensitive and just dramatic, and I feel like I've had those exact same frustrations. People, if you are a certain way, people just assume you're just being dramatic. And I mean, yeah, I am a little dramatic, but whatever, okay? Being a teenage girl is hard. I am no longer a teenage girl, and thank God, because reading these books makes me just so happy. I am no longer in that age. The only good thing about being a teenager and being a kid again is having no work responsibilities, just being able to do whatever the hell you want after school, go sit on your couch and eat Tostitos and salsa, watching TRL on MTV. Those were the good old days. Now it just sucks after this. So soak it up, kids. Soak it up. This was a very well done story. It was a little predictable, but I think that the journey was very enjoyable, and also I'm not the target age for this, so I don't know. Maybe around the time in the 90s as a teenager it wouldn't have been so predictable, but yeah, I think that this author does a really great job at building tension and dread and just painting that picture of just a horrifying scene and just making you feel that sense of danger for the character. I just really enjoyed this one, and I am glad I read it. That's 2 books this month that I read. A book by a female that I really loved. I don't think I've included this in this vlog. I vlogged this experience, but Friend is another one I just read, and this was written by Diana Henstall. These women, they know how to write and create such atmospheric reads with characters who feel so real, even though their circumstances are just crazy and out of this world. So yeah, next I think I'm going to read Dark Harvest. Hopefully it seems kind of short and easy, and then I gotta get into Pet Sematary. But I will tell you this, I am nowhere near completing all of the books in my TBR for this month. So I think I'm just gonna have to split it up. But anyway, I will check back in when I start another book and have a little bit more to say. So I've read about 60 pages of this, and it's really interesting, really fast-paced. I don't know what's going on exactly. It seems to be that this is a small town that Barlow's attacking his toys. Barlow, sir? Excuse me. Can you please be quiet for a second? So it feels very much like this small town has this tradition, this annual tradition that they have to do every year. Duh, that's what annual means. Where the boys in the town between the ages of 16 and 19 have to fight this October boy, which is essentially a scarecrow with a jack-o'-lantern on its head. That is also fighting for its life, and I don't really understand why this is happening. What this the October boy is the monster. It's the scarecrow with the jack-o'-lantern on its head. He has feelings like a real boy, but he's like a monster. I don't know if killing him is like a thing they have to do in order to have their town prosper or whatever, but if you defeat the October boy, your family is rewarded with money and a new home and all this stuff. So that element reminds me of the Hunger Games, but it's just like Halloween themed Hunger Games. I don't really know what to think so far, other than it just starts off right away in the action on the night of this event, and we're meeting the various boys. So it's interesting. I think it's gonna get bloody. I heard it being compared to The Purge, so I don't know. So far it's got those autumnal vibes. It's spooky. There's corn stalks and pumpkins and scarecrows, and those are all the things I want in my Halloween reads. So I'll touch back when I have a little bit more to say and I've read a little bit more. So I read about 50 more pages of this and I'm really liking it. I'm definitely getting the Purge vibes now. We're reading from different various characters' point of views, and there's one character in particular who I really like. His name is Pete, and I get like the sense that he's the underdog, and he rescued a girl who was being attacked by these two dudes, and it was just that immediately shot him up to number one for me, favorite character, for him doing that, because you can tell he's a good guy. And there's just been some shocking revelations that have happened revolving this event. So it seems so far that all we know about this event is that it's the adults in the town, the police detective, or the sheriff of the town, they're all the masters of this, but what we don't know is why they're doing this or what it's for. But it's super fast-paced and intense. Like, I was on the edge of my seat at some points and my heart was racing because these kids are just out in the streets and chaos is happening. Like, people are breaking into stores, people are getting attacked. It's just high intensity, high stakes. So I think this is a really fun Halloween read. It's just feels very old school. It's a different kind of coming of age story. I only have about 67 pages left, so I should finish this by tomorrow. As of right now, I can say I highly recommend this one. I finished this book recently and I realized I never give an update, my final thoughts. So overall, I thought it was enjoyable. I think that it was a fast-paced, brutal read at times. It was just very bleak. I just feel like I was waiting for more to happen, and I think towards the end of the story it felt a little repetitive and I was just kind of ready to get it over with. But overall, I think it was a pretty enjoyable read. I think it's perfect for Halloween. It definitely has Purge vibes, and I also I kind of just puttered out towards the end of reading. I was just tired and sometimes that makes it hard for me to really enjoy my read. So loved it at the beginning, but did not. I was just ready to finish by the end. I did complete 3 Halloween themed horror books this month. I think that my favorite of the 3 was probably Trick or Treat, which was surprising to me. I really enjoyed it. I thought that the author's writing style was just my jam. I think she writes in such a natural way, and she has an ability to create really atmospheric, dreadful scenes that just, you can feel the tension jumping off the page. And I just really connected with the characters. I just love it, and I want to read more from this author. Halloween Fiend was a great folk horror Halloween read. I just loved the scenes that we got with the creature and our main character, and it just definitely gave me Wicker Man vibes. I think this creature is just the Halloween creature that I've always been looking for. So I would love to learn more. This is just a quick read. It was fun, perfect for Halloween. This also felt folk horror-y. They're both like about small towns that have this dark history, and they're kind of appeasing some greater god that we don't really know about, and they're just so different and unique. This one is kind of more of a slow build where you're seeing how the town is living with this creature every single day of their lives, and how it all comes to a head at this annual festival. And this one, we're really just thrown smack dab in the middle of the action of this purge-like annual event where these kids basically have to chase down this monster and kill it. And I just think that they were fun Halloween reads. I do recommend them for everybody. And I think you can also enjoy them any time of the year. I don't think that they're just Halloween reads. Even though they're like very Halloween-y imagery, I think that they're enjoyable whenever, especially in the fall. So there you go. I'm actually really proud of myself that I read more than one book during this reading vlog, because it's usually pretty hard for me. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you're reading this fall, and if you read any of these books, I'd love to know your thoughts. And yeah, I will catch you next time. Bye, guys.